Hola, how are you lot? It's been a while since I've done this. We're not in the kitchen or in the forest. We're in the park this time around. And while I've not been doing this, I've been doing some other interesting things. And the same thought has followed me the same way a loyal dog would when they know where home is. And that's been exceeding expectations, which might be an interesting thing or not, depending upon how you feel about expectations. And I don't want to reference the book because that's the thing that came to mind. But the wonderful thing about exceeding expectations for me lately has been not having any whatsoever. And I've kind of been enjoying dropping that idea but maintaining personal standards, because I mean, it's nice to have, I don't know how people think of standards, but I suppose barometers for yourself, where you understand the parameters that you'd like to work within. And that's your framework. At least for me, those parameters become a framework. And if I can get closer to one each day, I go, oh, I'm still communing with the standards that I have as this person, because they tend to shift as you change as a person. If you choose to change, that is. That is not a slight. But not having expectations has been one of the biggest revelations for me personally, just because it allows for greater presence in terms of like focusing on something, as opposed to having an expectation, which can feel like a candle, almost said candle, a carrot being dangled in front of you, and you just find yourself running after the thing. You know, that thing is what you expect. And when that happens, there's no real time to pay attention to what's happening around you. And this is something that I've repeated quite a lot lately in writing and in speaking. But when there's no time to look around your environment and understand what is actually happening outside of you and within you, it's a strange thing, because it feels like you miss out on crucial parts of the process of becoming that thing that you want to be, the thing that you kind of are already, in a different timeline, as the people say. And that forms part of why you want to do the thing so badly. A number of people have said that in different ways. But when there is no carrot in front of you, at least you choose to go, let me remove this thing and try and be as present as I can be throughout this process. The idea of expectation falls away, and you're just able to commune with the surroundings. You pay attention to what you'd like to, whether that be the breeze, the quality of the light, the way that it hits leaves, your movement, how you breathe, how you feel affected by an activity or the thing that you're doing. And that for me is incredible, because it feels like you, one, get to know yourself on a completely different level, and at the same time, you're creating space for more magic. And in the realm or sphere, I guess, where magic resides, you get to access energy, power that was not there before. And you learn how to exercise that power, which again is a wonderful thing, because when you understand your parameters, your framework, how you want to experience pressure, how you want to experience growth, the kind of power that you can access in those moments is perspective shifting, wild, bewildering, and revelatory, because it shows you what you're capable of and how conscious you can be while wielding your weapon, your sword, your katana, which is, I guess, a wonderful thing. So I kind of feel like it's really important to be able to enjoy what you're doing, know what your standards are, but the expectation of what the end goal or the thing is going to look like, drop that, because it feels like it removes, almost desensitizes you from what's happening. And I suppose that's something I'm going to keep harping on about. Just because the more present you are, the more sensitized you are. And by sensitized, I mean you're fully in your body, embodied, engaging every single one of your senses. And that's an enormous thing, enormous faculty to be in possession of, especially during this time where so many things are pulling at your attention. Wanting the most valuable currency, wanting to distract you from yourself and what you want to do for yourself, especially if you want to become something radically different, I suppose. And that's, always an interest of mine, is how do you evolve? How do you shift and change? Like the trees, leaves, and shrubs do every season, and not stay the same. And how do you do so without expectation? And how do you just let the process help you unfurl in a beautiful way? And when that happens, becomes magical, you get to commune with yourself and the spirit of things in a radically different way. And you get to wield your power. And I've been thinking about a line lately from a Kanye West song where he said, you have the power to let power go, which is huge when you think about how much power you actually have as a being. But in the same breath, you also have the power to reclaim that power, that which was lost. And when you do, pardon the language, no one, no thing can fuck with you. And that's a interesting place to be in. And when you drop the idea of what it means to have an expectation of what an outcome or thing is going to look like, you allow majesty to show you something that you couldn't even fathom. And when I say majesty, I'm referring to, I guess, the divine, universe, the all, the mind that created all of this. That mind is way more powerful and creative than we are. And when you drop the notion of an expectation, but still keep your standards, you allow the majesty to go. You're working towards this. I'm going to show you what this looks like when you get there. And I'm going to give you little bits of previews, little snippets along the way, which is a wonderful thing. And those things can shift neurons in your brain, change your physiology, and charge the belief that you have in yourself. And if you choose to share what you're doing, it may just inspire others. So that's me on this Saturday, feeling, I guess, in a mood to share some stuff. So enjoy your day and take care of yourself. Stay disciplined. Moon's in Capricorn.